Okay, hello you beautiful people. Welcome back. In today's update, we are going to check out Ondo's price chart, see what is going on in the short term, and I think I don't know what to call it. Maybe my conspiracy theory is actually working a little bit, but before we get into all that good stuff, at first we are going to talk about this very important tweet and also this important article, and I'm going to tell you what is happening in here. And it's basically like very straightforward. You see, tokenization has moved from testing to real institutional use, and RWA on chain have already grown to about, I think, according to this report, it's around $18.5 billion, and forecasts they do actually point to more than 50 billion in 2026, and this growth is not driven by retail hype. Okay, this insane growth is mainly driven by banks and asset managers using on-chain settlement as infrastructure, and this shift in my view directly benefits Ondo because Ondo was built for this stage of the market. Why? Because simple reason actually. Its product focus is on institution grade tokenized treasuries, equities, and also funds. In other words, the number that we talked about earlier in 2026, meaning that 50 billion, I would say most of it is going to go towards Ondo's Way and also other projects that are working currently on tokenization of assets. Now, in case you're not following the RWA narrative, you should also note that RWAs are also becoming a core DeFi category, and as this category is going to grow, capital also tends to concentrate in platforms that are compliant, scalable, and also compatible with traditional finance system. And Ondo, guess what? Fits these requirements better than most competitors. Now, if you read this report from CoinDesk, and if you got time, I would actually highly suggest to give it a read yourself. You are going to find a lot of interesting stuff in here, but if you don't have time, that's absolutely fine. Just know this. According to this report, the main thing that is currently at the moment at least driving this cycle is actually institutions, because they are the ones who care about regulatory clarity, asset backing, settlement guarantees, and also counterparty risk. And Ondo's structure absolutely 100% aligns with these needs, which is why Ondo has been able to work with large financial firms while others are right now struggling. Now, as my final point, I think it is extremely important for us to, at least in this stage, pay full attention to what is going on when it comes to regulatory clarity, because more clear rules are going to reduce risk for banks and also asset managers and increase at the same time demand for compliant RWA platforms. And Ondo has already navigated these boundaries, giving it an advantage as adoption expands. And we talked about this regulatory clarity for Ondo, I think it was maybe about a couple of weeks ago. If you got time, go back and check out those videos. You are going to realize why we are so bullish in Ondo. And even if broader crypto prices are going to suffer a little bit, which I'm not really sure about that, but let's say this, even in that case, RWA infrastructure are going to continue to grow because their main driver are not retail, okay? Their main drivers are institutions, and on those value, it's very important to note that it is like directly tied to more and more usage and settlement than short-term speculation, which is why this trend is actually, I would argue, quite bullish for Ondo in the mid to long term. Okay, I'm not necessarily talking about what is going on in the short term, because in the short term, I think you might be better off getting help from two things. Number one has to be technical analysis, and number two has to be the news around Ondo. Why do I mention the news? Because we actually talked about this in the previous video as well. In case you don't know, in about 20 days, we are actually going to have major token unlocks in Ondo. And when we were around these lows in the previous video, I told you, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to argue odds are prior to January 19th, which is the date that we are going to have that massive token unlock, we are going to witness some good moves on the upside in Ondo. And that was one very important reason for why I told you, look, right around the lows, I would like to be a big buyer of Ondo, because I do think we're going to have this move up, and by the end of this move, I'm probably going to get rid of my short-term holdings. And again, pay attention, I just said short-term holdings, okay? In the mid to long term, I am going to hold Ondo, and I'm going to wait and see, are we going to have after that massive token unlock a move on the downside or not? My analysis suggests one way or the other we are going to have a bit of a move down, so why not maybe sell a little bit of my tokens when we are having this move on the upside, and then buy it back when we are around the lows. And again, I told you I'm just selling a little bit of my Ondo holdings, and those are the short-term holdings, okay? I am simply not going to touch my long-term bags because I do think the future for Ondo is actually quite bright. But again, we really cannot deny the tokenomics in here and the fact that soon we are going to have, I think, about like 60% added to the whole circulating supply, which is definitely a massive number. And I would argue the price is most likely going to get hit by this, at least in the short term. Now, let's see what is happening in this area, and here is what's going on in my mind. You see, in terms of Elliott waves, if you want to argue that we're going to have our final low around this area, maybe this is like a decent support, then okay. Off of the lowest low, you have to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific scenario is called an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave or wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the sub waves, excuse me, we're gonna have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5, okay? And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different possibilities. Let's say, yeah, okay, WXY for 4 and maybe an ABC structure into wave 2. Now, here's a very important point. If you want to be more bullish with more confidence, you need to see two things. Number one, you need to be a bit more patient, even if we are having this 5 wave on the upside, because after completing it one way or the other, even according to the most bullish case, we are going to have a bit of a move down. So you need to absolutely wait for this move on the downside and pay full attention to the characteristics of it. And if we are having like a slow and choppy move down, yeah, you know what, fair enough, maybe we are bullish and the low is set. Point number two, you also need to pay full attention to the prior move on the downside before this 5 wave and see, is it actually like a strong move down, a 5 wave, or maybe a correction structure like a 3 wave movement. If it's going to be a 3 wave movement, you might be in a bit of a trouble. Why is that? Because there is a chance that in Ondo, we are having something called an ABC expanded flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move up into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this initial low and then a good move up into C, and in it we are going to take the height of our A leg. And pay attention, in this pattern, where is the lowest low? Yep, you guessed it right, it's actually this one. Why is this important? It actually comes down to the subwaves. You see, we're gonna have ABC into A, ABC into B, and from the lowest low, you know it, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside. And this sucker right in here might fool you into believing, yeah, you know what, we are having some bullish structures and the low is N. And that, my friends, is why you also have to pay full attention to the prior move to this 5 wave on the upside, okay? If we are having a 3 wave movement, pay attention and have this ABC flat at least in your mind. Now, with all that said, let's go on the live chart, see what is going on. Okay, so question. Are we able to identify an impulse in this phase up? I think the answer to that is absolutely yes, and I can do two things. Number one, I can tell you maybe to about this point is the end of our wave 1, correction for 2, another move up into wave 3, correction for 4, and yet another move on the upside into wave 5. And I can tell you soon it's time for a bit of a move on the downside in Ondo. And do not get me wrong, we can absolutely 100% have something like this. And pay attention, I told you about that specific date, right? It was January 19th, and I'm going to argue, at least until then, in Ondo, we are going to witness some sort of a sustainable uptrend. Now, the question is, well, okay, during that uptrend, can we have some sort of a pullback? Absolutely, yes. But that's really the point, you see. If we are going to have a bit of a move down in Ondo, I am willing to bet this move down is going to be a correction structure, and after it's over, we are going to actually continue our move up. Basically, let's argue for the next 2-3 weeks bare minimum, and then we are going to make new updates and see what might be the next likely move. Also, if you want to be like way more bullish than me, I guess you can say maybe we are having something like this, you see. This can be 5 up to about this point into 1, correction for wave 2, and right now we are on our way to complete like a big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And if you want to go according to this scenario, I guess the target can be somewhere around maybe 55 cents area, which is going to be really nice for us since we bought Ondo right around the lows. I mean, my average short-term holding purchase is actually around, I think it was 37 cents, and if we want to go to about 55 cents area, I'm going to be up about 50% basically, or a little bit I think more, in the last 3 weeks, which is definitely not that bad. And again, I'm telling you right here right now, I am going to get rid of my short-term holdings in Ondo right around the highs. Now, am I confident that this specific scenario is going to play out? I'll be honest with you, not really. What I can tell you with a decent bit of confidence is this. Let's assume in Ondo we are going to have a bit of a move down. So I think I can tell you with a good degree of confidence that in this move down, we're just going to have a correction structure. And after it's over, we are going to continue our move up once again. I'm going to say it for the next 2-3 weeks. What's going to happen after it definitely can be up for the base, especially because you might be able to say, yeah, you know what? In Ondo, we are having something like this. Excuse me. Let's just delete the waves. We are having from maybe this high, like an A, B, C on the downside. Let's not even say to about this point. Maybe this is going to be our A, B, C down, excuse me, something like this. And this can be A, B, C on the upside, followed by like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which according to this scenario, what's next? You know it, a massive move down in order to set new lows. Like, do not get me wrong, we can absolutely have this massive move on the downside, but based on the news around Ondo and based on the massive token unlock that we are going to have, I am willing to guess this. Most likely, this move down, even if we are going to get one, is going to happen after that specific date. Okay, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I have seen these things too many times, and I think I have a decent idea of what is going to happen prior and also after them. And even do not listen to me, just let's go on daily time frame and see what happened the last time that we had major token unlocks in Ondo. And guess what? It was about January of 2025, right around this height. There we go. As you can see, what happened from the lows until January 19th, basically, let's say like the end of January, we got about, I think it was a 40% move on the upside, right? From here to about this point. Yep, as you can see, this was about a 51% move on the upside, which is definitely not that bad. And in Ondo, I think again, our move up is going to continue also a little bit more. And then we are going to witness a bit of a move down. And whether that's going to be a correction or not, I honestly, at the moment at least, do not have a good answer for you. For now, in my view, we should count on a continuation of this move on the upside, and any kind of move down in the short term, at least maybe happening in the next couple of days, probably should be considered as just a bit of a temporary pullback. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Ondo's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.